So first, for my part, I'm doing for UI and animation, cursor, bar, and button, and also text. So for UI, there's projected for position of X and position of Y, and then there's constructor for UI. Okay, so for animation have some members which are movement X, movement Y, angle, center X, center Y, radius, color, blink counter, duration, and speed. So we have some methods: set angle, set speed, walk with different parameter, calculate shoot, hit, and that. So these are some of the methods codes. So for walk with parameter angle, so this one would calculate basically the coordinates for the next coordinate for the walking animation. And then this one is for key. This is going to be used for player. So when like a key like W is pressed, it will change the coordinates of the player. So you can see the dot. So when I press A and D, it will move around, and W and S, it will move up and down. So I set it in main that if it's more than a certain X, it will do the hit animation, which is currently is to change to red and white. And then next is for the bar, we have members like value, current value, bar height, bar width, and color. So and then the methods are the constructor, and then the display method, update bar method, set value, and current value. So for constructor, we will initialize it with the height, the position, the height, the width, and then the color. The main file currently is just to loop the animation for the. So currently the bar, if I make it HP minus, so it will decrease, and then EXP increase, it will increase based on what the bar. So right now in the main file, I make two text object, which is to show minus 10 HP and minus 20 HP as shown just now. So in button, we have members holding a height width of the button, and then mouse X, mouse Y is to store the position of the mouse click actually. So when click, you will store the mouse position in mouse X and mouse Y, and then its click is to check if is to store the state if it's click or not, and then name is the name of the things that you want to display, like what button is it, like quit button or start button. And then we have the constructor, display, and then its button players. And then in main here right now I have two buttons. One is a clickable one, and then another one is just a dummy one to show that the first button is doing something. So right now we have two buttons, don't click and click me. So don't click is the second button actually, it doesn't do anything. So for click me, when I click this, it will delete the don't click button. So when I click me, it will delete the click me, and it will also show that it's clicked. And then last is cursor. Cursor is to show where's the mouse is aiming at. It will aim at the mouse. So we have angle, radius, center X, center Y, mouse X, mouse Y, and then coordinates, and then the constructor, and then set center. This is to so there we have the cursor. It will point towards the mouse, and then if I move, it will also still point at my mouse. So that's all for my part.
Alright, for my part, I want to explain the GameManager. So for the GameManager hardware HPP, we provide the private bull game runs, so and public for this game runs is connected with a CPP. For the level system, we have a level system to max and means there's to increase the level our character. So as you can see, we have a level system experience. At level means increase the level, and it also increase the ASP also. For the HPP, The private is at level 0, experience, max system, and also we show the level system, get level, get ESP, and addition level, addition ESP, and set max ESP. Point system is when we kill the enemy, we will get some point to increase our level. For HPP, we show you the private 80 points, so that we input for the point. This for the time HPP. This mean to connected the CPP one, so we have a start time, stop time, get second, get minute, and create time created is also for the restart the timer. We will move to the main. The main will connect us to all the class, GameManager, level system, point system, system. So this is output. We have a time, level, a point. So this will provide in the game to show the level, time, point. If a point increase, this means will increase to our character level. So that's all from my part. Alright, we move to the collision system for the HPP. Collision system connect to the public manager. Before that, I explain. We have a position X and position Y with height hits, creative hitbox update, and is hit. For the CPP, we update to the IATX Y position. We must include the pointer for the X and Y. Spawn system is spawn for the enemy for spawn randomly. So for the spawn system, we also connected with GameManager. We have a radius, spawn X, spawn Y, number of spawn, and max spawns. Spawn enemies update now and set max. For the CPP, we also have a boolean for the spawn system. So for the spawn system enemies, also we have a calculation for the spawn system. Also, we have an angle for the enemy to spawn. Also we have a get max height and get max width for the calculation, and we must return true and or else or return false because it's a boolean. So this spawn update num and spawn system for the set max.
So for the input, here we got the input CPP, so that when we press a key, it will the system will receive the input from the keyboard. Then here the system CPP, then here's the main CPP, and then also for the CPP, for the menu, we actually not finished yet, but we already have the background. Yeah, and then soon we will finish the menu for the games. Okay, for the game scene, we already made the game scene, but it is not ready yet. So soon we will complete the game scene for the game.
So in the PT2 implementation phase, which is the phase 3, I'm in charge of the game entities, and I'm doing the entities class, the bullet class, the wall class, enemy class, and the player class. So in the entity class, we need the collision systems header file, and the attribute is the V, the height, the collide to store the boolean variables, and in the protected field there is two attributes, which is the position X and the position Y to store the coordinates for the entities. So let's move on to the CPP form of the entity classes. So in the constructor, we have one default constructor and one parameterized constructor to initialize the coordinates and also create the hitbox. And now move on to the functions. We have get x and get y to return the positions of x and y coordinate, and point x and point y to return the pointer of position. Now let's move on to the enemy header file. So in the enemy header file, it uses the library like animation header file, UI header file, entities header file, bullet header file, and response system header file. So it is also a child class to entities, and its attributes include HP, damage, pointing, drop experience, dead, current level, pointer target X, pointer target Y, angle, and pointer image buffer, image load to check whether the image is loaded or not, and a string, of course, for the image. So let's move on to the CPP file to see the definitions. And for the constructor, it is actually used to import the image to the enemy so that we can use the image to display the enemy. Let's move on to the player header file. So in the player header file, basically we use an animation header file, input header file, cursor header file, user interface header file, level system header file, entities header file, and bullet header file. And it is also a child class to entities. And its attributes include HP, damage, dead, current level, image buffer, image load. And now let's move on to the CPP to see the definitions. The default constructor is used to set the location, the coordinates or the locations for the image for the player, and we have one functions to test the collisions between two entities, which is the wall and the other entities, and this is the definitions for the wall. So, well, you can see when the bullet is exiting the screen, and the active state will be set to false so that the loop will stop. And then when I press 0 and the bullet is finished, then the screen will end, just like this. Okay, so as you can see, the enemy will spawn at a random coordinates, and after it spawns, the enemy will get the coordinates from the player current locations. When the player moves to other location, then the enemy will follow the current location. Okay, this is the player CPP. As you can see, the current experience is 710 and 10, right? When the player is hit, then when the player hit the enemy with its bullet, then the experience will be increased as the enemy is slain, so the level will be triggered and to increase as well. So there is an indicator to show that the enemy is hit by the bullet or the player. So in this game scene, you will see all the mechanics that I just demonstrated earlier. When the enemy is hit, then it will display the enemy is hit in text. And when the enemy HP is equal to 0, then it will show a game scene to end the game. That's all for my part.